Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Tyler Price. And on my channel, we talk about money, productivity, lifestyle, books, and anything else that you want to talk about. So today I wanted to share with you all some of the changes that I have made to my Notions page, just based on the newly released buttons feature in the database. So now you can access buttons in a database and kind of create automation with the buttons there. So on the page that we're on right now, this is just kind of an overview of my Notions yearly page. Now I do have my Life Hub, and I have a video that kind of shows you everything related to my Life Hub. So this is what my Life Hub looks like, and I will link the video below where I go in extensively to discuss what I have in my Life Hub, and pretty much all of Notion. I go in and kind of explain to you all how I use Notion. Now I would like to do a video on how I organize my books and organize my reading on Notion. I'm still working on it. I'm still finalizing certain things. I'm adding some more books to my Notion. And once I do, I will do a video. My goal is to have that video out sometime this month on how I use Notion to organize my reading. So anyway, so let's jump into this. This is my yearly page, and the yearly page has my quarterly goals, which is I want to lose 20 pounds, read 20 books, spend some time outside, park car in my garage. My garage is a junk house, so I want to do that, and then start a business. And then these are how I use buttons on my yearly page. So these buttons kind of take me to certain aspects of Notion. And so, but really the focus of this discussion really is to talk about how I use Notion's new buttons feature in my daily and weekly planning. So my Notions page, when I go, I usually land here first when I'm kind of starting Notion. I come here because this is kind of the space that I spend the most time. I have my weekly pages, which every week I do a weekly page, and then once the week is over, I save the page. And then I have a weekly page template. Now, there's some days where I need a daily page. I just, I have a lot going on, and I just need to kind of do a brain dump dive of what I need to do. And that's what the daily pages are for. I don't always do a daily page. It's just some days I just have a lot to do, and I just want to have a brief to-do list, a list that I need to check off, and I just need it somewhere. So that's pretty much what the daily page on today is. As I said, I don't do it often. What I focus primarily on are my weekly pages on my weekly plan. So in my weekly plan, I have the dates, and I usually go from Monday to Sunday each week. I have tabs, and these are how I use Notion's buttons. All these buttons go to different parts of my Notion. So the home button goes to my Life Hub, and in my Life Hub, I also use buttons where if I click on this week, it takes me to this week. So if I go into Notion and I click on this week, automatically that button takes me to this week. So I have all of my kind of my books and everything else. And again, I went through a full extensive tour of this in my last video, which I'll link below. And then there's certain things that I like to capture weekly. So I want to have a motivation. I think that's strive. I like to have some sort of motivational quote. So strive not to be a success, but a rather value, which I think I love. I just think this is great. So every week I have that. I have what I'm reading. I'm reading 3 books right now. I'm reading Twisted Love on the actual book. I'm reading Everkink on my Kindle, and then I'm listening to Love Theoretically. Now, I probably will also read this because I have the book, but I'm trying to, I have a whole bunch of books that I need to read by next week. So adding audiobooks into the mix so that I can get those books read before Valentine's Day. I have 6 books I need to read. And then I like to capture what purse I'm wearing. It's kind of crazy. I spend way too much money on some purses, so I'd like to kind of know that I am not wasting my money, and I'm kind of I am going over. I'm using the purses. So that's pretty much what this area is. And then I have my daily items, and then my daily items kind of has what you call a daily button. So these are just, and in my daily button, again, a way that I use Notion. If I click on it, it gives you a list of all the things that I want to do daily to keep my house organized. And so as I do them, I check them off. So one load of laundry, wash dishes, or load the dishwasher, sweep and mop floor, spend 5 minutes tidying, and so on and so forth. So every day I go in, I click on my daily button, um, and then these are again the things that I need to do to keep my home organized, and that's how I use the Notion button here. And then in the laundry section, it's a little anal, I know, but I like to kind of keep a tab of the laundry that I do. So that's pretty much what my laundry button is. And the beauty of this is I have this toggle, so I don't have to really look at it, and it still keeps my page very, very minimal. With that said, so now let's kind of go into how how I'm using Notion for the new Notion button update feature in the database. So this is in my database. I have a database called Weekly Task, and this is it's in each weekly template. So it doesn't go from week to week, it's just for that week. And it's a way that I kind of organize my to-do list. So the things that are urgent, I mark as urgent. And then the things that I just need to get done. And these are just kind of a brain dump there of things that I have to get done. I add to them as I do them. So I have the things that I need to get done. I'll talk about the update button in just one second. The categories, so I have several categories, personal, home, YouTube, kids, bills, dog. So I have those. And then I have the due date, which is the deadline that they have to be done. And then I have the due date, which is the date that I plan to do the specific task. And typically when I don't do it that day, what I'll do is I'll move it to the next day, or I may move it to next week. And I'll talk about that in just 1 minute. And then the status, if it's done. And then the move button, I'll talk about that too, in terms of, and really the update button and the move buttons, what I incorporated into Notion, the automations using the Notion's button feature in the database that I've incorporated into my Notion weekly task. So with my weekly task, I have various views. So I have, and what I did was, before I used to have kind of like the top 5, or I'll have to-do list under each day. What I've done instead is to have daily views for my in Notion of my tasks. So on Mondays, these are the things that I need to get done. So all this stuff are the things that I need to do today. Tuesday, this. Wednesday, this. Thursday, this. And as I go later in the week, that's not a lot of it, because eventually, Sunday, I did this already. So on Sunday, I did my hair, so that's done. And then I would move, certain things would need to be moved to next week. So for example, if I don't create a plan for my YouTube channel, or if I'm like, I don't really have time to do this now, I think I'm going to do it next week. So what I would do is just move it to next week. So I'll just go click on it, go into the move button right here. And once I click on the move button, actually I don't click on it, sorry. I just go there and I'm like, I can't do my YouTube channel, the plan for my channel this week. I think I need to move it to next week. What I do is I just click on move, and what it does, the automation automatically moves it to next week. And if I go here, then I'll see it that the status is delayed and it's being moved to next week. So if you actually, this is better because you guys can see more on my on the full plan. So it says the status is delayed and it's moved to next week. So I'll try that again. So let's say I want to move laundry to next week, because I just don't have time for it. I just click on laundry, and as you can see, the automation changed the status to delayed, and it also changed the due date to next week. So that's one of the features that I'm using for Notion as far as the button feature in the database. The second is that when I've completed a task, I just want it done. And in the past, you could just click on, status, and then go click and choose done. It just takes a little longer. What I do now is if I just go into update, and so like, let's say, I've cleaned my fridge, which I haven't. If I click on update, what it does is automatically says that this has been done. So, or I could try that again with another thing where I have to apply for school for James. And so if I click on update, once I click on update, you will see that this status changes. So if I click on update, this status changes to done. So so these are kind of how I manage my my to-do list, just based on the new Notion feature. And what's great about this is that I can come here at the end of the week and look at the things that I've delayed for the next week, and then add these items into my next weekly task list. So I just kind of, copy and paste them to the next template for next week. And so, so that's pretty much how I use the buttons. And then down here, I have my longer term tasks. And these are just some long-term tasks that I have that are not due this week. I do have a weekly view. So for example, I need to pay the HOA this week. So every week when I plan my week, I go into the weekly view just based on my list. And this is just, I review my list just to see if I want to move anything over. Then I click on weekly view, and then the items that I would like to move, what I do is I add them to my weekly list. This is home related. And I want to, my default for getting everything done is the Friday of the week. And if it's, and if it's not, the Friday of the week, then I will choose a specific day to get it done. I was on the next week task. Let me go. That's why it disappeared. So again, my default is always to do everything. Default is always to do everything on the Friday, like the due date is usually the Friday. And if it's not the Friday of the week, then there's a specific deadline that it has to be done. So that I keep the deadline. Then I have the due date, the date that I absolutely want to do it. So just because something has a deadline doesn't mean I'm going to do it then. I do it on the due dates. So pretty much that's how I organize my and plan my day in Notion. Using the Notions button, and this like Notion has really worked for me. I used to be a planner girl, but what I'm finding is that Notion kind of gives me everything that I need, as far as I still can do a lot of fun creative things using it, but also it's easier for me to use. And at times I just want something minimal. I don't want a lot of stuff. I don't want a lot of pictures. I just aesthetically I want it to be minimal, because when I come in here I'm just doing stuff. I'm doing work. I do like the colors that it presents, but really when I'm in here I'm doing work. I'm getting work done. So I hope that this has really been very helpful to you all, as far as how I manage my week on Notion, using Notion's buttons as well, and especially now using the Notion's new button that's been available in the databases. If you would like a copy of this template, please send me an email to iamtylerprice@gmail.com, and I will provide you with a free copy of the template for yourself. Now, the challenge with the template, and the reason why I haven't really shared, I'll give you a copy of the weekly task template. This entire template, I'm not really ready to share it because it has a lot of information. It's personal, like all these buttons just lead somewhere. However, I will share the weekly task template with you if that's something that you'll be interested in. Again, if you are, just send me like my video, comment in the video, or you can send me an email to iamtylerprice@gmail.com. Anyway, thanks for riding with me. Thanks for another one. And please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.